Did you ever once wonder what kind of aircraft is making so much noise on a Sunday morning when it's waking you up? Or are you sometimes curious as to what exotic places these aircraft are flying to? Or are you simply an aviation geek that just wants to know everything about what's going on in the airspace around you? If you can answer yes to any of these questions, then this is the right project for you. Every aircraft has to have a so-called automatic dependent surveillance broadcast transmitter, in short ADS-B transmitter. These transmitters periodically send out aircraft data like speed, position, altitude, flight number and so on. This data is openly transmitted in all directions via 1090 MHz radio waves, which can be picked up with basically any antenna. In this project, an ESP32 is used to receive this data, with an additional antenna installed outside which is connected to a Raspberry Pi. The Pi sends the received data after it has been processed and properly converted from a binary signal through Wi-Fi to the ESP. Afterwards, the ESP passes the data and sends it to a TFT display through the SPI protocol. The result of this process is currently being shown in a time-lapse in this video. As you can see, multiple aircraft are being shown with a green direction indicator. The length of this indicator also shows the current speed of the aircraft. The number you can see is displaying the current altitude in the flight level notation, meaning for example flight level 360 is equal to 36,000 feet. Whether the aircraft is ascending or descending is depicted by the color of the altitude, with blue being ascending and orange being descending. A perfect example of this is shown in the beginning of this video, in the middle of the screen, with multiple aircraft being lined up behind each other while descending. This is due to them landing in Düsseldorf Airport, which is right next to the current location of the outside antenna. If you want a more detailed look of the airspace, you can also zoom in or out up to a maximum of 140 nautical miles, which is approximately a range of 260 kilometers in all directions. Lastly, if you were to select an aircraft on the display, you will be shown the flight path this aircraft has taken so far, and all the additional relevant information of this aircraft.